How's it going, guys? My name is Jared Ace, and welcome back to MoneyMetEish. In Monday's daily WhatsApp message, I spoke about an article I saw about Labatt and why I feel like the cannabis industry isn't quite the cash cow it appears to be for the grower and manufacturer of cannabis products. I mentioned that there were two major reasons why I thought this, so today I'll be taking a deeper look at these reasons as well as a few other reasons why I will not be buying into any cannabis growers now, nor for the foreseeable future. As always, this is not financial or investing advice. This video is for edutainment purposes only and should not be used as the basis for any investment decisions, as this is only my opinion. There is a widely held assumption that once cannabis becomes more widely legal, that there's going to be a surge in demand. This demand needs to be supplied, and that supply is where the money will be made. I think this is fundamentally flawed with regards to cannabis. Unlike other sin stock products, in fact, most products in general, such as tobacco and alcohol or even something like soap, there is basically zero barrier to entry from a skills perspective in terms of the production and manufacturing of cannabis. You will not find many people growing tobacco in their back garden to roll their own cigarettes. This should make it difficult for any true brand loyalty to be created by canna companies, since you can essentially make the product at home with less effort than it takes to make your own biltong. There is very little stopping people from growing this plant at their homes once it is legalized more widely, as has been the case in South Africa with a massive boom in home growers. There also doesn't seem to be any sort of supply shortage. If we look globally at the US, Canada, and the global beacon of cannabis consumption in terms of people's perception, the Netherlands, we see that of the three markets, only the US grew significantly in terms of consumption last year. Even with cannabis dispensaries being made essential businesses in Canada and full legalization, they saw an overall decline in the use of cannabis across all genders and age groups in the previous year. Canada does a cannabis survey every year, and it's extremely helpful when it comes to researching the topic for, say, investment purposes or for this video. In the most recent survey done, looking at the period 2020 to 2021, I was surprised that there was an overall decline in cannabis use despite the pandemic and my assumptions that people would use it more to combat depression and other lockdown-related issues. When looking at how people got their products, there was a massive increase in the use of legal storefronts during the pandemic, as most people were limited in their options. This trend continued into 2021. The only two areas where growth was sustained was in legal storefronts and home growers. I trust the Canadian numbers more than the US numbers, since marijuana has been legal in Canada since 2018, and I believe that there is a much higher likelihood that the numbers in the US studies could be underreported in areas where the usage of cannabis would land you with a criminal record and possible jail time. Over in the Netherlands, there has been an increase in the usage of cannabis in the age groups between 18 and 29, but an overall downward trend in the usage of the plant over the last decade, and an overall increase in consumption between 1997 and 2019 of only 4%. Now, this info is from before the pandemic, so it needs to also be taken with a grain of salt. Another great thing about the Canadian survey is just how much information is collected. In Canada last year, roughly 11.6 million packaged units were sold across dried flower, edibles, vapes, and oils. There was, at the time of the survey, 63 million packaged units in inventory across the supply chain. Almost 6 times the supply for the demand, and I think this is exactly why the companies are not making any real profits. Of all the listed companies in this space in the US and Canada, there are 2. Only 2 that reported a profit last year. Not a single company is trading higher in the last year, and on average there has been a value loss of 70% across all the companies. This is the market which Labatt is looking to join. I don't see where the value lies in being a grower. Now, a retailer, sure, there would seemingly be more demand for accessory products, and it seems that the real money is really only made by retail and by the government. A study done in the Netherlands found that the trends in the increase and decline of cannabis use had little correlation with decriminalization and more to do with external factors. In Canada, there has been an overall growth of 3% in consumption between 2018, when it was legalized, and 2021. 3% growth is not shooting the lights out by any measure. 3% in Canada, 4% in the Netherlands. These are not numbers to get excited about. As a whole, I believe legality to be a little deterrence in terms of cannabis use, and as such, it is wishful thinking to assume that a massive increase in the usage is going to occur and be sustainable for the long term once legalization is further widely spread. This is a poor investment by any standards. Back to the companies, in short, none of them are making any profits. They have moats as thin as a Rizzler, and there is currently 6 times more supply than demand. I believe as legalization broadens, this supply to demand imbalance will lead to a number of smaller operations falling away and consolidation of the industry into just the larger companies as they race to the bottom in terms of pricing. In the end, the farmers will get screwed while retailers and essentially consumers have a wider selection at ever lowering prices. Great for consumers, bad as an investment. That's just my 2 cents on the matter and the industry. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Like I said, it's only my opinion. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Have a great day.